stuff. This shit is crazy, yo. What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here. I'm sorry I didn't mean to startle you. Sorry, Diva, sorry. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the Diva know you stopped by. We're down here to talk about Real Housewives of of New York. Real Housewives of New York. I was trying to see, that car behind me was driving super duper fast, and I didn't have my blinker on, and I had to turn, so I had to get my blinker on real quick. So I am down here. I took a day off, but we're down here to talk about Real Housewives of New York, and then some trending topics, but it's going to be a separate video, naturally. All right, so we're down here. Hope everybody's doing well. Rested, huh? You know what I'm saying? Just take a day off of the Diva. You know what I mean? Okay, look at Carl. Look at the Carl. Coming to greet me right here, landed on the damn handicap or accessible parking sign. Language matters, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Let me have a little bit of my tea. Yes. She wants to lead, honey, a glamorous life. She don't need, a man's touch. She wants to lead, yes, a glamorous life without love. It ain't much. Come on, Sheila E. Shout out to Sheila E., Prince, and everybody. Okay, so we are down here to talk about Real Housewives of New York. I haven't watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills yet. Did we already talk about the first episode? I felt like we did. Okay, so I said I was going to review it, right? Okay, I forgot. Okay. So we start off where we left off with Sonia going off on Ramona at this little dinner that they were at. This man walks every morning. Hello, man. Okay. You know, Sonia is really caught up in being a Morgan, right? She won't change her last name. I think Ebony mentioned something about Wells Fargo, baby, and she went off. She's like, girl, you know we are JP Morgan and Chase, honey. They'll be talking about, so, you know, Sonia was all drunk and everything, and so she went off, right? And just spiraling out of control. The funniest part was that Ebony did not stop eating the whole time Sonia was going off. It's nothing like being in a friend group of women who have been friends for almost 20 years, over 20 years, and they arguing about stuff. And Ebony even mentioned it later. They be arguing, and then all of a sudden they hugging and apologizing again. That is the key to these shows. And, you know, I hate to say it again, but that is what's missing on Atlanta. I know I posted it on the community page. Kim, Sheree, and Nene have been friends for over 10 years when they came onto the show. The Gorgas and the Judices, that's family. So, you know, that spans lifetimes and years. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They all knew each other. What's the girl's name? Lisa. What's the girl's name? Kyle. What about Orange County? Vicky, Gina. They all had known each other for a while. Like, basically, they had history with each other. I think that is what's important, because the women on Atlanta don't have history that spans after the show. We've only ever been co-workers. We've never really been friends. And that is the ingredient that is lacking, besides the production, on Atlanta Housewives, okay? I'm just saying. So when Ebony mentioned that, I said, see, that's it. These women have been friends so long, they can argue, fuss, and fight, and then they'll be friends again. Just like we couldn't understand why the fuck was Kim and Nene going back and forth. They fall out, and then they be friends again. They fall out, they be friends again. Why? Because they've known each other over 15 years. That's why. That's why Kim and Sheree, that's why Sheree said, I knew you when your car got repoed out of the Home Depot parking lot. I knew you when you didn't have no teeth right here. Bitch, I've known you, bitch. So that's what they need. Anyways, Ebony she was getting her grub on. Luann, she freaks out a little bit. She walks out because, you know, Luann is trying not to drink. And she was like, I can't do this. She breaks down. She goes outside. It's a mess, okay? Then we get Ebony is on the phone with her mother. So we get a little personal story about Ebony. We know that her grandmother is transitioning into her next realm, right? And so Ebony is on the phone with her mother, and I find it hilarious that her mom was like, I'm going to give you, she was like, I'm going to let you make the decision on whether to keep grandma alive, because I don't want it to be, what did she say? She said, because I wanted to say, I would rather, wait a minute. She said, I would rather you have killed her than me. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God. I thought, when I tell you, I hollered when her mother said that. I love the sense of humor, even in transition. You know what I'm saying? Grandma's on her way out. Ebony, you make the decision on whether we gonna keep her alive or not, because I don't want it to be on me. So she was like, okay, so you want it to be on me or whatever. So we see Leah, she's talking with her sister. I think Leah's sister needs to come on the show. We need some people with some longevity. I know that Ebony and Leah have known each other. I will give them maybe almost 10 years, because I know that Charlemagne, like, they all know Leah. Like, Envy knows Leah. They were like, oh yeah, we know Leah. Like, I guess Leah's the girl, I guess. I don't know. She'd be in the mix, but we need friendships with some history. Anyways, so they talked about her sick grandmother as well. So Leah and Ebony both have sick grandmothers right now. They might be sick. They say they're sick, but I don't like to say that. They're on their way out. Sonia and Ramona were laying in the bed talking to each other after they done cussed each other out and everything like that. Bitch, when they were at the dinner and Ramona was yelling at Sonia, and she was like, girl, what's wrong with you, bitch? I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. She was like, girl, stop crying, stop, you need to get over this. And then she was like, what's wrong with you, bitch? I was like, oh my God, that was so funny. In the next day, they in the bed together. And, Ramona's like, I think what bothers you, you went crazy. Ebony mentioned Wells Fargo. You went bananas. And then Garth. And then she has this issue with Garth. I guess the way that Ramona made it seem was that, Sonia wants a boyfriend. Like, Luann has a boyfriend. You just jealous because I have a boyfriend. That's what Luann was telling. Well, that's what Luann was telling Sonia. And so that's what Sonia and Ramona were talking about. And she was like, I think you have an issue that triggered you. So it was a lot of triggers. And let me tell you something. It's no fun drinking or getting drunk when you have some issues happening or issues going on, because those issues come up. They start coming up. And when you turn into somebody, you want to be the happy drunk, right? If you turn into the drunk that's always pissed off and everything like that, don't nobody want to be around you. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope Sonia gets in a better place so she could turn back into a happy drunk. But she says, I wish I can take it away. Ramona is hugging her and they're loving on each other in the bed. So Ramona is planning a traditional and elegant dinner. She's doing a breakfast at Tiffany's theme. Luann and Sonia are on the side. Ramona is, setting the table and for the dinner. And Luann comes in because Garth is coming over for them to work out this morning. And she's basically giving Luann a recap of what happened with Sonia and the conversation that they had. And as they're talking, Leah walks in. And when Leah walks in, Ramona kind of stays quiet, right? Because these are girlfriends. These are longtime girlfriends talking to each other about one of their other girlfriends. And you're walking in and it's like an intimate conversation. So she stops and she was like, just looking at her. And then she was like, okay. She was like, we're kind of having an intimate conversation, a private conversation. And Leah was like, okay. So when Leah walks out, she was like, I would have rather been greeted in some type of way rather than said, get out, right? So she didn't like that. She was not happy about that. So then when Ebony comes into the same room, Luann goes outside with Garth. Garth shows up. Garth is not cute. That's not that Swedish, diver looking. Nah, he's not. I mean, he's tall. He got a great body, but his facial features, nah. I was like, they're not aesthetically pleasing to me. To each his own. What did they say? The eye is in the beholder of the beauty. Whatever. However they say. You know what I'm talking about. You know how it goes. Shit. So when Ebony comes down to start talking to Ramona is very friendly with her. She's talking to her because Luann has already gone. She's left. She went outside, so they're not talking anymore. So she's talking to Ebony about the place settings and stuff like that. What place setting should I use? So when Leah walks in and sees Ebony and Ramona talking like normal, she was like, oh, okay. So when Ebony comes down here, you're nice to her. She was like, girl, what are you talking about? She was like, you know what? I'm so tired of you. You're rude, Ramona. You're fake. You're this. You're that. And so she gets mad. So Ebony is like, girl, I don't even know what happened. What's going on? She was like, I cannot do it. So Ramona leaves. She was like, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's freaking out. She's mad at me because I stopped talking when she walked in the room. And then when she walked in the room with Ebony, I was talking to Ebony. So she got mad. And she was like, I don't know what's wrong with her. You know, they're like, and you know what? I think Ramona sees Leah like a daughter figure. That's why she has a problem with her talking about sex. Because I don't think Ramona is one of those, you know, those white American women, Republican, you know, a hoe. Okay? Now, I don't mean to correlate all those identities with being a whore, but one of Ramona's things is they are, I don't like to slut shame, but Ramona sleeps around. Ramona sleeps with the guys, but she acts like, and this is what we do as Americans. White Americans do it, black American women do it, and white American women do it. They act prudish. They act like they don't be fucking. They act like, oh my God, were you talking about sex? Oh my God, we're in company. Oh my God. And girl, we know, Ramona, we have seen you y'all share men. Luann, Sonia, and Ramona share men. Do you hear what I'm saying? They share men. Luann even married Community Dick. Like that was your fault, Luann, though. But she married Community Dick, Tom. Sonia had been with him. Sonia's still mad about that. She's like, you sleep with everybody. She'll sleep with everybody I'm with. And then when Luann told her, girl, you were just friends with benefits. They just fuck you for one night and that's it. Girl, I was like, oh my God, this is a mess. Anyways, Garth shows up. Ebony's not going to work out. She's getting her makeup done. I didn't understand that, but I guess she says, you know, her makeup comes first. She's going to get her makeup done. She had a makeup artist there. Leah was down there getting her hair done. When they were working out with Garth, you know, Sonia's making all these little comments and stuff. I wish I had my rose-colored glasses on to look at Garth. You know, just saying little things. She's probably still drunk. And then Luann says, you know, Sonia is jealous because I have my cabaret and I have my boyfriend. It's a mess. It's a mess. So Leah tells Ebony that she is done with Sonia, done with Ramona. She's tired of Ramona and she's just going to stay quiet because she don't want to talk. And she's going to take a vow of silence until 6 o'clock. I think it only lasted until 3 o'clock, or it only lasted 3 hours. She didn't stay silent for too long. That was my bad guy she was with. Oh, yeah, on the way. So they're going to shuck oysters, right? They're going to an oyster farm. And when they were on the bus or the Sprinter on the way there, Sonia mentions that Luann was with some guys. I think it was Harry Dubin, Tom. I don't remember Tom's last name. But they all sleep with the same, I think, what's her name has been out. Ramona been out with Harry. Sonia been out with Harry. Luann been out with Harry. Tom as well. I want to say Ramona went out with Tom too. I don't know if Tom was just back and forth between, but yeah. And that's the thing. And that's why Bethany would tell Luann, you the biggest hoe in here. And that's why Leah next week is going to tell all y'all bitches is hoes at this table. Don't act like y'all don't be fucking. But they want to act like prude and in company, but you're in company with other women, so what's the problem? I can see if there were other men there and you're like, girl, you know, but other women, why are you acting like you're such a prude and you don't be fucking? I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Baby, when they were talking about Tom, Luann was like, girl, he married me. He didn't marry you. He just fucked you for one night and that's it. He never was your guy. I was like, oh my God. So she was like, you were just friends with benefits. How far are you going to go with that? I said, bitch, Luann was getting Sonia's ass together. But then Ebony made a great point. She was like, you see your friend is in a hurt place. And you keep digging at her like, these niggas don't want you. They only fuck you and leave you. You only a one night stand. And all this other stuff. Quite honestly, I believe Sonia is the Samantha Jones of the group. I don't believe that. I believe like Sonia likes companionship, but I don't believe that Sonia wants to get married. I believe that Sonia is stuck with that name. She don't want to ever change her name. She's going to keep that name forever because she's really, really, really stuck in the past, in the Morgan past, when she was on yachts and stuff. She can't let that lifestyle go. She can't let that part of her life go because she lived a grand lifestyle. I mean, to a Morgan child. Ebony says, you know, but where's your compassion? She tells Luann, where's your compassion? She was like, you know, I got something for you. You might not like it, but your friend is here hurting. She seems to be in a space where she's not feeling valued. And here you are telling her that these men don't want her. They only use her for one thing. She's only a friends with benefits. They're not going to marry her. Luann, you got married to Tom. Luann, first of all, marrying community dick is not a flex. Let's start there, okay? Bitch, you married community dick and he sent you through hell. You got arrested. You was an alcoholic. I mean, I'm not making fun of her alcoholism, but you spiraled out of control, girl, with Tom. That's what you get for fucking community dick. You had all those other women's emotions wrapped up in your ass, and your ass went crazy. You shouldn't have married him. You shouldn't have married him. So that's not a flex. Anyways, she was like, I think you're jealous because you're spending time with Garth. She was like, no, you're not spending time with me. You abandon your girlfriends. Everybody has that one girlfriend who, when she gets a man, honey, bye. You don't see her until they break up. You don't see her ass until they break up. So Sonia's mad about that. She was like, I'm mad that you're not spending time with me. Then Luann hugged Sonia and she was like, men come and go. Like literally, men have this bro code. Like it's a very rare occasion that two men will fight over a woman and not be friends later. Like, it's like these men come and go. We're friends. Don't abandon your friendships for these niggas. They come and go. Period. Just like the women, they come and go. Period. So Ramona tells Ebony, honey, you don't have no idea what you stepped into, because Ebony was like, they were just arguing, cussing each other out, tearing each other down, and now they over here hugging, talking about, girl, men come and go. It's gonna be okay. Oh, God. And she's like, whenever we have a threesome, we'll call you first. That was it. So they're at the oyster farms. I love oysters on a half shell. Do you hear me? I love them. I was so happy. But like Ramona's like, I can see why. Oh, she said that they asked the oyster guy how much were the oysters. You know, Ramona is in the type of business where they buy almost like TJ Maxx, what is it, Burlington, what is the other place, Ross, you know, those kind of places where they have those clothes and stuff like that, and they buy the clothes and the clothes are kind of defective or they're not perfect or whatever, so they end up, or they're overstocked, right? And so they end up in these kind of stores. Ramona is in that business. So it was funny when she was asking the guy, how much do you sell oysters to restaurants? And he was like, probably like less than $1 a piece. Girl, what? She was like, what? He was like, that's why when you learn how to shuck these oysters, you will save so much money, you know, shucking them yourself. But don't nobody want to shuck no goddamn oysters. We'll pay for the oysters. Just give us oysters on the half shell with all the fun little stuff that you could. Yes, I love oysters, honey. Oyster shooters, everything. Do you hear me? So Leah's finally talking. They talk about Heather is coming to breakfast at Tiffany's dinner tonight. And Leah says, I don't know how I feel being around her because she talks about everyone. After she's done with me, is she going to go back to her podcast and talk about me? I knew I felt something on my face. Okay. And so Leah's having a little trepidation about Heather coming. Heather looks a mess. Y'all see Heather? She's not. I hate to be a woman talking about another woman the way she's aging, but she's not aging. She definitely, maybe she doesn't want to, but she definitely needs some kind of pull. I should not be suggesting reconstructive surgery for anybody, huh? That's not cool. But girl, we all need a little. I mean, we don't all need, because honey bitch, I'm probably the same age as Leah. How old is Leah? I mean, not Leah, Heather. Girl, but I don't look. What's her last name? Heather what? What's Heather's last name? Let me just put RHONY. Holla. Heather, what's her name? Heather Thompson. How old is she? Oh no, she's older than me. Yeah. I don't know about Heather. I didn't like how, I don't know. I didn't get a good vibe from Heather. I didn't like it. Because you are talking about these people and you sitting across with them. Anyways, they get back to the house. I'm glad that Sonia remembered Eli's name. Heather shows up. She sends, they put Heather in the lower level, in the dungeon of Sonia's house, the lower level. That was a mess. Remember when she put Luann down there? That shit was hilarious. Heather looks a mess. She does. She looks a mess. I don't know what's going on. She had her hair. They're supposed to have updos, to look like Audrey Hepburn. Is that Audrey Hepburn? In Breakfast at Tiffany's, they had her hair up. They had their hair up, but Heather's hair, I don't know what was going on with her hair. Everybody looked cute. Ramona really looked cute. She had her hair up. She had her little black band going around, her gloves on and everything. Ebony looked okay. Leah had on something totally different. She had on some print outfit, and Ramona was like, it's Versace, it's vintage Versace, so we're okay with it. It looked nice though. It looked nice. Heather asked Ebony about herself, asking her where she was from. It was very fake, very fake, very fake. But Ebony calls it out like, these other women don't ask me about myself, so whatever. So they get to the table. They're talking about podcasts. No, before they get to the table, they start talking about podcasts. And Leah is looking at Heather like, girl, because word on the street is you talk about everybody on your podcast, so what's up? So Ramona is in there with Eli taking shots. She trying to talk about, oh, you can't give this. There's 3 girls in there who are not drinking. Here, just save these for me later, this and that. And they're sitting at the dinner table. Leah and Heather, they start getting into it because Leah wants to call Heather out on the things that she said about Luann taking hard drugs. And so Ebony was like, I would have given Heather some legal advice and told her to shut her ass up, basically, to be quiet. And she was like, well, it wasn't really like that. I didn't say anything. She did imply. When Leah read it back, I was like, yeah, you did imply other hard drugs came out. Girl, what's the problem with weed? Okay. But other hard drugs, what are you talking about, girl? Like, that's crazy. So she did kind of apologize. And then there was another quote that said nothing is genuine with Luann. She was like, I said that. So she stood in that. That's true. That's true. I did say that. That's true. So it was weird how Luann was like, you just want to talk about me because I'm relevant. I don't know, Luann. I don't know what's up. Luann is, I don't know. Luann used to be my favorite. I don't know what's up with Luann. She was like, well, you want to talk about me because I'm relevant. Girl, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyways, they start talking about they're going to do a new portrait of somebody, and he's coming. So they start talking about penises and talking about, the way that they look when they're soft, and are you a grower and all this other stuff. And then Ramona is just like, like, oh my God, I can't, I think it's because she looks at Leah. Do y'all think that? I think that's what it is. She looks at Leah like a daughter. And so that's why she don't want her talking about sex. I don't know, maybe. She was like, if a man don't eat your ass, he's not a real man. I said, come on, bitch. Come on, Leah. I know that's right, bitch. She was like, what? They was like, but eating ass at a dinner table. I mean, talking about eating ass at a dinner table, not eating ass on the dinner table. That's another story for another day. But talking about eating ass at a dinner table, it is inappropriate dinner conversation, but it's only inappropriate if somebody is not willing to talk about it. Like Ramona, she's the only one. Everybody else was talking and laughing. Sonia was having a good time. I think Sonia likes that about Leah, because Leah just says what she wants to say, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. What is so embarrassing about talking about sex? That's how you got here. That's how all of us got here. How do you be embarrassed about the very thing about creation, right? And the things about it. It's like, I don't know, everybody turns into like fifth graders when they start talking about sex. I'm like, girl, why are y'all acting like that? I don't like that. I hate when women act like that. Like, I'm one that I don't like to talk about. I don't like to hear somebody preoccupied with sex, talking about sex and sex and sex. I don't like that. But I don't act like, oh my God, what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? No, get out of here with that. Anyways, that was the end of the episode. Next week looks actually really good. So get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the episode. Take care of each other and protect your energy.